Hello, everybody. This is Dorcas Chandler at dorcasgazelle.com. Wow, it's been a while, but I'm glad to be back. Just been trying to bring a balance in my life, and that's what I want to talk about today. But I'm just grateful that my books are finished and they've shipped out, so I should be getting them shortly, and that is a done deal. It was a little bit up and down because of the cover, trying to get the cover right and trying to get the right pictures. And then finally, I just said, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and do it the way that I first did it without pictures. And I'm excited about my book. And, I text some friends of mine and told them about my book coming out. And I've really sold a lot of books already without even putting it on Amazon. But I'm just grateful for that. And the process of even publishing a book, it just takes a minute. And after I finished, then I had to get it copywritten at the Library of Congress. And I couldn't get into the website. And then they kept telling me, well, I got a message that I needed to call them. And then when I called them, what happened was that they have a new system. And so all of my accounts and the books that I've written and the copyright certificates that I hold, they needed to migrate each account, each book, and so and they needed me to be on the line. And the only way that I was going to be able to sign in to the new site was that I was going to have to stay on the line. They told me, now this is going to take a minute. And I said, oh, okay, well, I didn't know what a minute was going to be like, but um, a minute turned into over an hour and something. I was sitting on the phone with the Library of Congress, and they were putting all the work that I've done down through the years into one folder. And so, man, I, I was sitting there and I was wondering, could they have called me back? But because of the way they were doing the process, I had to wait and we had to go through everything. And then once we got through one email account, then they asked me, do you have another one? And so then we had to do that. So it was just a process. And when I got off the phone with the Library of Congress and um, copywriting my last book, this is the last book I'm going to write. I have written a lot of books. I went in my room from my office, and I'm very humble to know that God would allow me to do all the things that He have allowed me to do down through the years. And I was laying there, and first I was like, the process took so long. But then when I changed and looked at the things that I have done down through the years, I would have never ever really thought about all the stuff that they were naming, because they were asking me about names of some books, and I was like, huh? And then I was like, oh yeah. And so then he would say, okay, Miss Chandler, you got to hold on, and then he come back and say, you wrote plays too? And so it was just stuff that I had forgotten all about. And I just felt very humbled as I went into my room, like I said, because I figured, I said, God, you've really been good to me. I've written a lot of things. I've written computer manuals and books and just all kind of stuff. And so I said, I'm just grateful that this is my last book that I'm going to be writing. I'm retiring from writing. I'm not going to write anymore after this, not books anyway. And it's about me, and it's about my weight loss journey. I felt so humble because this journey right here that I'm on right now, I haven't stopped, don't plan on stopping, because my ultimate goal is to continue to be as healthy as I can in this part of my life. And so to write about my journey of my weight and how that God has really blessed me, and then the things that I could do and the things that I couldn't do. It's really a blessing. The things that the people that God had put in my pathway to help me reach the goals that I'm trying to get at. And I'm certainly not there, but I keep going. And yesterday, it was just a beautiful day for me because I was saying, Lord, I said, now I'm spending this money on this book, and should I wait, because I want a car, and because I'm getting up now and feeling much better, there's things that I want to do, and I want to get out of the house. I want to do some different things. And so I was wondering, should the book be first, or should the car be first? I just was trying to do some things. But in January, at the middle of January, and I certainly wanted to get back to you all because the calendars that I had wrote for this year, 2019, I did like an action plan. And in January, I had a plan of action and for healthy lifestyle changes. And like I said, my books and the book that I just written is not about how much weight you lose. It's about being healthy. And so what I had to do with my plan of action before I would even set goals, you know how we set New Year resolutions, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And no matter what our New Year resolution is, most of us set them because we're changing. We're going into another year. So when I was setting my goals, I wanted to look back and see what it was that I needed to perfect. And so what could I do better than what I did last year? And what did I do good that I could even be proud of myself for doing? Because everything has not been bad. In fact, most of the stuff that I did has really been good. And I'm just grateful for that. But one of the things that I recognize that since 2015 up till where I am right now was that I need a balance. And that's something that I want to work on in 2019. So how will I set that goal? Well, first of all, like I said, I had to realize that I need to change some things to bring balance in my life. So when I'm doing things that seem like over the top, oh, why are they taking so long? And just going through a lot of different changes, then I'm setting my mind to a point where I'm saying, okay, you need to get a balance. Is this the right behavior, or can you do something different than what you've been doing so that you don't get yourself all worked up and stressed out over things that are really out of your control? So I want a balance. I don't want extreme exercising. I remember in 2018 when the therapist came, she told me I was overworking my body. So what I realized is that you don't have to do 150 sit-ups and arm things and leg things to achieve what you're trying to achieve. Because what was happening was I was doing all this stuff and I was getting very little results. And that brought frustration to me because I knew that I was sticking to the plan, but it was so extreme that I just wanted to get up so bad that I figured the more I did, the quicker the results. But sometimes more is not good. Sometimes, well, all the time, we just need a balance in our life. So that's one of the things that I'm working on this year, a balance. Because you see, our behaviors, a lot of them are learned. And what I mean by that is like we were taught that work hard, instead of work smart, And I learned that if you can work smart, you can get more done than trying to just overdo. So I have, so what I'm doing now is I'm even with my eating. I'm trying to balance it out because you know what? At Christmas time, Marty was going to be here with me. And so I was excited about Marty coming. And the last time that she was here, I was telling her, you shouldn't be eating sweets and you this, that, and the other. And I was so excited about my journey that I was pushing what I was doing onto her. And when she left, I felt really bad because I said, God, I don't want people coming into my house and not feeling comfortable. And I don't want to put what I'm doing on somebody else. Because if it's not for you, then it's just not for you. So Marty was coming here and I was concerned about what we were going to eat. So I told God, I said, I messed up one time. I said, so when Marty comes, I said, whatever we eat, we just eat. Now, just hear me out. And so when Marty came, I said, you buy whatever you want, and that's what we're going to eat. And so we were going to do Christmas dinner. And so she said, well, Deese, I don't want to do the traditional dinner. I would like to do something different. And I said, okay, do it. I said, whatever you do, I'm going to eat it. And so what happened was I found myself eating whatever was cooked. But I was eating in portion sizes. And all of a sudden, the fear of eating and gaining weight, it just left me. I just knew that, okay, you can eat, Dorcas. And so I just started eating. And so I ate, and then we went to this crab boil, and I don't eat crab, but we went over there, and so we had dinner over there, and so we just had really fun, and so I wasn't sitting there wondering, counting carbs or counting sugar. I was just eating. And so when I ate and got enough, and that was it, and I felt good, and then we just had fun. We played games, and then I came home, and then we did my sister. We had them come over, and here I was eating again, but I'm not afraid to eat because I just needed to eat. So what happened was, because I just ate and knew that I could eat and feel good and not feel like, how much is the scale going to be when you get on the scale, when you go back to the doctor? The fear left me because, you see, I was so worked up that every time I would go to the doctor, oh my goodness, I look at every carb. I'm looking at the sugar. I'm dividing it into 4. I'm just going through all these changes. And my blood pressure would be totally high when I get there because I'm wondering what the scale's going to say. I'm wondering what the scale's going to say. And then I would get on the scale. I would be done gain weight, doing the exact same thing, and or lose a pound in 3 months. And so I'm like, wow, there's something wrong. So when I began to look back, retrospect back on my journey for 2018, what I'm asking God is, God, what's wrong? You need a balance. And so to set my goals, and I'm sure they're different from your goals, but when we're setting goals, just to say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, you need to look and see what it is that you have been doing that even prompts you to set a goal. And then once you set that goal, base it upon how you can improve from something that you have already did. So this is what I did. I set goals. And one of the goals, my main goal, is for balance. I need a balance in my life. And so I set some goals. One of the things was to get my book. I wasn't going to just say, I got to have my book today. I got to have it. I got to have it. I just took my time. I set some goals. I said, I'm not going to have to just come on to do a tape just because I'm doing a tape. I need to wait. I need to get myself together because what has happened is that you are talking to people, and because you have an audience, you need to make sure that you are giving out proper instructions. So this is something that just consider, is that whatever you're doing, yours might not be a balance. But if we're going to set goals, are they realistic? How will I reach these goals? The way that I'm going to reach them, I need to be cognizant or aware of my thinking. My thinking really gets me in trouble. So, and I know that. So I need to work on that area. So if I'm working to have realistic goals, set things where, Dorcas, you don't have to do 150 sit-ups. Just do 20. Just do 25. Just get up and walk more. One of the goals that I set, drink more water. And I'm drinking more water. I'm taking vitamins and I feel wonderful. I'm telling you, yesterday was cloudy here in Arizona. And usually my body feels like, oh my goodness. But yesterday, what happened was, because I'm setting balances and goals, it's like you got to realize that not only are you doing exercises, but you're getting up, you're walking more, you're doing more things in the house. Put all of those things in the basket. Consider everything that you're doing that you could not do before. And I'm telling you, I cannot explain to you how good I feel when I wash my hair and I can stand up and I can cook something in the kitchen. I can sweep my floor. These are things that I could not do. And I could take care of myself better. Better. I am better. Now, I'm not all the way up. That's not what I'm saying. But you really don't know my story. I mean, really don't know my story. And some of it I tell in my book. So, what I'm trying to do this year is to be realistic, to have a balance, to set goals. So even with my book, I was talking about that earlier. I was trying to say, okay, now I'm setting goals. I need to make sure about my money because sometimes I'm extreme. I'm an extreme giver. And so I'm trying to set goals with even that. So what happened was I was like, God, I said, do I wait on publishing this book or do I get the book? Do I spend the money or do I wait? And I just had this thing unction inside of me, just go ahead. And I said, because I really want a car, but I don't want to be extreme. I'm trying to get this balance. I'm trying to get a balance. So what happened was I went ahead and I got everything that I needed to get. And I sent my book off to be bound. And because I self-publish. And I sent it off to be professionally bound. And so I put the money on my credit card, which I knew I could pay off. But I didn't really want to, but I just did it because I knew that that was the way to go. And so I did it. But I wasn't pushed to do it. And so what happened was a couple of weeks ago, I was sitting in my living room and this little girl, she always walks by and they'll always be out there playing. And she told her mother, she says, Mama, I want to go down there and help that lady. And she's talking about me. And I had no idea that the little girl wanted to come and help me because I need help like getting my mail or bringing packages that they deliver at my office from over there because I can't lift heavy things or I can't bring things and walk on a walker also. So one day I was sitting in the living room and somebody knocked on the door and it was a delivery. And before I could get to the door, the man had put the box down and he left. And I'm like, man, why did they do this? And so anyway, I opened the door and it was a light box. So when I turned to bring the box in, I saw her mother. I didn't think nothing about it. I just met them. They're new here to me. I hadn't seen them, in when they first came in or whatever. And so I said, hey, how you doing? And she said, fine, how are you? And so we just got to talking, and she said, I wanted to come down here and give you a donation on your calendar. I said, forget that. Calendars are over. I don't need no donation. I said, thank you. Before I knew it, this is what I said out of my mouth. I said, your daughter, you think she could help me get my mail and things like that? And this is what she said. You know what? My daughter said, Mama, now I knew nothing about this conversation. I want to go down there and help that lady. And so her mother told her, okay, go ahead. The little girl came down and knocked on my door, but I didn't hear her. And she had been wanting to help me. So here she is. She goes and get my mail now. And goes to the office because they deliver packages at the office. And so she goes and she get my mail and just do little things for me. And I reward her for what she do, And so she called me Sunday. And I called her back Monday and I told her I had a package at the office and I wanted her to go get it for me. And I said, and just get my mail. And I knew it was going to be a lot of junk mail. But I'm talking about balance. So in the midst of her bringing the box, which I knew what was in the box, and getting my mail, I'm just throwing junk mail because it's not time for no mail and because I do everything online. And here's this card in the midst of the junk mail, I should say. And so I throw it to the side because I know that card is Rosalind. Rosalind is the only one that sends cards. Now, I didn't put this money on my account, my credit card. And I'm wanting me a car, and I'm wanting the money that I get from the proceeds from my book to buy me a car. And it's like, you need to look at that envelope again. And like it was kind of getting dark and I didn't have my glasses on, so I picked up the envelope to bring it closer to me and I said, somebody had sent me a card and I hadn't heard from this person in a long time and I wanted to send her a calendar, but I knew she had moved and I didn't know if I had the right address and everything. And I opened the envelope and there was a card. And I love butterflies. Anybody know me? I love butterflies. When you get my book, you will see I love butterflies. So anyway, I'm looking at the card. I'm opening it up and I'm reading it. But I look to the right and there is a check that's taped to the card. And I looked at the dollar amount and I said, huh? And I sit back and I looked again. I'm telling you that my books are paid for. Balance. And I was like, God. And it's like, if you would, Dorcas, and what I'm really working on is I'm trying to stop figuring everything out. This person didn't even know that I was writing a book. I just was on her mind and she sent a check and I said, wow. And even the night before, that Sunday night before all of this happened, I said, I'm getting me a car. Yeah, I'm getting me a car. And then the first thing came to me when I was in the bed, before you buy a car, you need to buy a mattress. And I don't want to buy no mattress. You need to buy a mattress because you need to walk better. And what's bothering your back is you are on a bad mattress. So I have made a decision. I'm going to pay off the credit card and I'm going to buy me a mattress, and then I'm going to start saving for a car. Now I can pay off the credit card, buy me a mattress, and then get me a car. And I mean, God is just good like that. And I mean, so I'm learning that balancing myself is causing me less stress. And that's what I need. So when we're trying to do something and set plans, and I'm sleeping better, I go to bed and I go to sleep, and I wake up and I'm not writing up my sheets. I'm just calming down. And you know what? It is wonderful. And so yesterday, I'm still trying to get to yesterday. I got up and it was like, Dorcas, don't think about walking, just walk. That might not make no sense to you, but every time I stand up, I think about walking. And when I think about walking, I pull my walker out and I walk on it. So yesterday I said, okay, I'm going to try this. And so yesterday I walked in the kitchen, and I didn't have my walker, and I've done this before, but it was so much easier. And so what God has let me know, once you get a new mattress, you'll get up. Isn't that amazing? Just calming down. Wow. So whatever your plans of actions are this year, just try to put in there some relaxation and some balance. And look at your team, the people who are around you, because everybody shouldn't be in your corner. Everybody is not in our corners. So together, everyone's achievements matter. Put it all together, and man, you got success. When we put it all together, when everything comes together, I mean, people be talking about you. I'm talking about good, and you don't even know they're talking about you good. So what I found out yesterday was I am so blessed. Regardless of everything that I've been through, the things that I've been through has made me who I am today. And I thank God for my parents teaching me persistence. Just keep at it. And I love God, and I'm telling you, and I love you too. And I thank you for listening to this. And I hope that whatever your plan of action is for 2019, that you will consider first what it is that you need to change. Because what happens is, a lot of times I'm finding out we're doing the same thing over and over again. And the reason why we do it over and over again is because we are not willing to change bad habits. And if we start changing bad habits, we revert back to the old habits because it's easier. Change is not easy. I mean, it's not easy, but it is doable. It can happen. You know why? It is happening for me. And I know that it can happen for you. Hey, I love you. This is Dorcas Chandler at dorcasgazelle.com, and I'm waiting for my books. As soon as my books get here, I will open the bookstore at dorcasdesigns.com. And you will be able to purchase your books online. And I appreciate all of those of you who've already spoken for books. Some people have already paid for them. So I will get those books out to you. Hey, you have a great day, and know that you are special and loved. Until next time, Dorcas Chandler.